Hello there. I'm excited for today's video because I have really enjoyed reading this book. This book, Endless Night, was published in 1967 and the writer is Agatha Christie. By the way, I know you can hear some chirping of the birds. It's actually distracting for me because my eyes need to watch them, my heart need to watch them, but I'm here making this video anyway. First, let's talk about the book's cover, which I don't usually talk about. I'm fond of classical Bangla covers, I love them, but this particular book cover is also quite good because the previous English books which I have read, the covers were just kind of, not like satisfying to me. But this particular book has an elegant cover and the hints of knights and maybe something tragic. There's a crow and drops of blood. Though I won't say it's a 10/10 cover, but it's like the best English book cover I have seen so far. Anyway, moving to the characters. Well, there's quite a lot of them that I have to mention or else you won't get the plot. So starting with one of the leads, Mike. Mike is a good looking but poor man. He loves to try new things, quite adventurous. He never sticks to one job, though he's not a great planner nor a hard-working guy, but it can be said that his only dream is having a beautiful house where he and the girl he loves will live forever. And in this story, Mike marries a girl named Ellie. Ellie is one of the richest American women, though she's only 21. At this moment, she has lost all of her relatives, including her parents. But Ellie is humble. She is not only a friendly person, but also well brought up. She is loving and always caring for others. But she is a businesslike woman too. She is smart and maintains her finances well. Next is Greta. Can say she's Ellie's friend, but more like a governess. Greta is quite a dominant character, though Ellie loves her a lot, and we can also see Greta maintaining Ellie's works perfectly and also helping her many times in matters of her personal life. Santonix and Mike's mom were two important characters, and they are Mike's well-wishers. Then we have Cora. She is Ellie's stepmother. Including Ellie's father, she has married 4 times and also got a huge money from it. Cora is a lavish woman and we can also see that she loves traveling. Mr. Lippincott, Reuben, Mr. Frank, these are Ellie's people. Among them, Mr. Frank seems to be quite self-centered. Mr. Lippincott is in charge of Ellie's finances and Reuben is Ellie's cousin. You'll get to know about the house built in Gypsy's acre. There, Miss Claudia is a neighbor. She and Ellie goes to horse riding together. And lastly, I want to mention an old woman, Mrs. Lee. She's a gypsy and palmist. We'll get to know more about her later. Now, the plot. So, the story begins with Mike. As I mentioned earlier, he's a man who is never sticking to one job. He is not serious in life but dreams of a good house where he and her favorite woman will stay forever. Just the dream everybody has, right? Anyway, one day he finds a beautiful place and hopes to make his dream house there. His friend Santonix is an architect who promised him to build that dream house for him. Mike went to know more about that place. It's known as the Gypsy's Acre. It's a beautiful spot to build a house. The environment and the serenity is very calming. It's like everyone's dream place to live. So anyway, there's some story that it has a curse. So whoever buys it or stays there must face troubles. But Mike doesn't care about those fables. He joined an auction to take a hint of its price. Even though it's very cheap compared to the location, Mike doesn't even have that money. After the failed auction, he was roaming around where he met a girl, Ellie. They talked for a while and planned for the next meetup. Felt like they both liked each other. And after some more dates, they finally got married. Ellie told Mike about her life, her relatives, and her assets. She surprised Mike by buying the gypsy sacker, and as promised, Santonix built a house there. Mike and Ellie were passing their happy days together in their newly built house on the gypsy sacker. I need to mention that Mike was always a bit jealous about Greta because Ellie seemed to be loving her very much. So despite Ellie wanting Greta to live with them, Mike refused. But one day when Ellie was sick, she insisted to let Greta come over. Mike agreed, but afterwards the three of them lived together in the gypsy sacker. Even though Mike had some quarrels with Greta once or twice, it eventually got solved and the three of them started to live together in the house. One day there was a program arranged. As Ellie goes for horse riding every morning, she told Mike to go there and she will reach later. Time passes by, it becomes noon, but there's no trace of her. Then Mike and Mr. Philpott leaves the program to search Ellie. Later, they find her dead body. It didn't seem like she died by falling from the horse. The locals also told them that they saw Ellie horse riding as usual, but they didn't see anything which may cause trouble or maybe a tragic death. And while the investigation was going on, a few days apart, Miss Claudia and the gypsy woman, Mrs. Lee, were found dead too. It is assumed that these deaths are connected together, and we also find some shocking facts. Starting with the gypsy woman, Mrs. Lee. When the auction of the gypsy sacker took place, Mike and Ellie went to Mrs. Lee to check their palms. And Mrs. Lee told them that they must not buy that gypsy sacker because it will cost them harm and may get them into troubles. Eventually Ellie bought that and they both were passing their good times there. But whenever Ellie was alone in the house or horse riding, Mrs. Lee would frighten her and tell her to leave that place as soon as possible. From the local police, Mike also found out that Mrs. Lee was a greedy woman and she could do anything for the sake of money. But now she is dead, so we have to find the person who's behind all this. Next is Miss Claudia. As I mentioned earlier, she was the neighbor of Ellie. Usually they both go to horse riding together, but on the day of Ellie's death, Miss Claudia did not go with her. Instead, she said that she had been going to a market to buy some goods. But we found another shocking secret connected to her. Cora, Ellie's stepmother, wasn't in Italy or America or anywhere. Instead, she was living beside Ellie's house and never even informed her. Cora is Miss Claudia's friend, but she never mentioned that. Also, Miss Claudia never mentioned that too. She lived inside that house secretly for several months. And I need to mention that Cora was very fond of Ellie's house in the gypsy sacker and she wanted to buy it too. Next, let's talk about Mike. Ellie had made a will that after her death, Mike will be the owner of all her assets. And now, Mike is. Even though he was leading a very cheerful life with Ellie, they were passing their very happy days in the gypsy's acre. A dream house, a dream woman is all Mike wanted. Mike also told Mr. Lippincott that he's not very aware of these businesses and investments and does not have any experience in finances. So he wants to hand over all this to Mr. Lippincott. I want to mention that on the day of Ellie's death, when the program was held and Mike was there, he noticed that a man was looking at him strangely. Later, he found out that this was Ellie's cousin Reuben. They both had never met earlier and it was kind of strange Reuben looking at him. Okay, now let's move to Mr. Lippincott. He's a lawyer and he has been maintaining Ellie's finances since she was a little girl because Ellie's grandfather had made a will that she will get the control of all the assets when she's 21. And even after turning 21, Mr. Lippincott was always in charge of her finances, her investments, and all. Even though Ellie trusted him, and it is believed that Mr. Lippincott also adored her as his child, but we never know, right? And lastly, I want to mention Greta. Greta is not really someone we could suspect, but as we are checking every fact, there's no one we should leave behind. As I said earlier, Greta is a dominant character, and some of Ellie's well-wishers didn't really like her because they felt like Greta has so much influence over Ellie, and Ellie literally trusts her a lot. Ellie lost her relatives at a very young age, and she was brought up very strictly. She lived a very restricted life and wanted to get out of it. It was Greta who worked as a best friend, as a governess, and everything she could ever imagine. Even though Greta was paid, she thought Greta like more of her sister. And Greta is also seen managing everything possible before and after Ellie's death. She has such a bold personality. Lastly, this is the last, I promise. Lastly, I want to mention Sam's mother because Sam didn't really want Ellie to meet her. Sam said that she has some problems and all, and it felt like Sam didn't really like his mother at all. He felt like she was very different, and that's why even after getting married, he didn't really want Ellie to meet his mother. So yeah, we have seen so many probabilities, so many suspects, but the real question is that who's the killer? I am sure that the truth will blow your mind, and for that you have to read this book. I mean, I can give you a spoiler, but I don't really want to because this book is worth reading. And I also feel like this is a very good book for my storytelling series, even though I don't know if I can make time for it or not. So, yeah, this is a 10/10 book. Anyway, let me know how it was, and if you have any comments. As you know, any discussion is welcome. Okay, then see you later. So many.